Hi everybody, Brad here. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I cured my lower back pain without surgery, once and for all, in this video coming up. Welcome back everybody. It is the 25th of July 2019. Thanks for coming back. If you're familiar with my backstory with the injury with my lower back, you would have seen how much pain I was in and the treatment process I was going through for that. I've been waiting a few weeks now to shoot this video because I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot by actually talking about being recovered when I fully wasn't recovered. So I'm very happy to say right now that I have no more back pain from the exercises and the book that I'm about to recommend to you that really helped me get myself back on track and not needing any surgery whatsoever. So I want to first point out that I'm not a physio, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physical therapist, I'm not an osteo, I'm not qualified to give advice, and I'm not going to give advice. I'm just going to share with you my personal experience, and you can take whatever you want from that and leave the rest behind. But first and foremost, you should always go and see someone first, just to see what your specific injury is. So for me, mine was the L5-S1 lower lumbar, so pretty much the very end of my spine, right? And I had a herniation there. I had a disc injury resulting from my training that I did back in February this year. And if you're back to the channel and you would have maybe seen that video where I talked about that injury in more detail. So I might link that video up. I won't repeat myself, but if you're here for the first time, I was in the gym lifting heavy weights and I was going too heavy at the time and I lost my form and I felt something pop in my lower back. And ever since February, my life hasn't been the same. When that injury happened, and I'll quickly talk about how I felt, and then I'll give you the exercises that I did and the book that I read that really helped me. So real quick, I felt something pop in my back and I was in extreme pain. I couldn't walk properly for a few weeks after. I couldn't get out of bed. I had severe stiffness in my lower back. I felt sharp pain in my lower back. And there were even moments where I had shooting pain down the back of right down my left leg to around behind my knee. So the shooting pain didn't go all the way to my toes. It just stopped behind my knee, my left knee. And that was only 2 or 3 times and only for short periods of time. So that shooting pain was very, very, very acute and very short-lived. But typically, I'd have all the pain around my lower back. Every time I'd move around and try and find it, it was so sharp and so severe. It was so painful. I was on so many different painkillers just to try and calm it down a little bit. So I went and saw physios and an osteo, and it was, even the discussion of surgery did come into it, not by the physio, but it was like, I spoke to people and they're like, you might have to get surgery done. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get surgery. I'm going to figure this out for myself. I went and saw a physio who was really helpful, gave me a set of exercises. I went and saw an osteo who gave me another set of exercises. And I did a whole lot of research and self-education and just consistency in the gym with doing those exercises. And I'm very happy to say that in July, right, pretty much 6 months later, I'm completely recovered. I don't have any more lower back pain. I don't even feel, if I try and find the pain, I can't feel it anymore. I don't have stiffness in my lower back, and I feel so much stronger in my lower back than ever before. So I'll share with you what I did, and I'll give you a book recommendation that really helped me, and then you can perhaps try this, or you can do whatever you want with this information. And what I'll do as I speak, I'll throw up some footage of those exercises. And Robyn, actually, my girlfriend, is a Pilates instructor. I've actually asked her to shoot some separate videos where she can demonstrate the exercises that I was doing, because she's much better at explaining as a Pilates instructor those specific exercises. So I'll link all those links up below, and I'll even throw some up on the screen now so you can see what I'm talking about. And you can also maybe write this down and you can do your own research. But what I did, pretty much 30 minutes a day, I would do this. The first thing I would do is I'd go into the gym and I'd just do bar hangs. So I'd literally just hang from a bar to completely decompress my spine. And I read somewhere, and I don't know how true this is, as I said, I'm not a physiotherapist or an osteo, I'm not a doctor, but decompressing the spine just allowed better circulation through the vertebrae. And I started my exercise routine by just hanging from a bar for as long as I could, and then just dropping down from the bar, having a 30-second rest, jumping back up on the bar again, and just hanging from the bar as long as possible, and just completely relaxing my muscles and just allowing my spine to completely decompress. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I would do is a glute bridge. Now, as I said, Robyn will demonstrate this, but I'd do a glute bridge, but I wouldn't have a barbell across me, just a normal body weight glute bridge. And by doing this, it helped to strengthen up my glutes. And now my glutes, as a result of doing glute bridge pretty much almost every day, are just so much stronger than what they've ever used to be. So the idea of doing the glute bridge was really just to strengthen up the glutes and the lower back to allow the disc and all of that to heal. The next one I did was the child's pose. So child's pose is putting your spine into flexion. That's another one I did. And again, I'll get Robyn to demonstrate the child's pose. I'd usually hold the child's pose for 30 seconds to a minute at a time, and then, relax, and then go back into the pose for about 30 seconds and do that several times before moving into doing goblet squats. So I did goblet squats, about 10 reps, 10, 12 reps, 3 or 4 sets. And I'd always listen to my body as well. Like whenever if I ever felt pain doing any of these exercises, I would just do less reps or less sets. I just wouldn't do them. So the whole time I was doing, child's pose or the cobra, which is another one I was doing, where you're putting your spine into extension. If I ever felt too much pressure in my lower spine, I would just stop doing it, and then I'd try again the next day. So I wasn't doing any twisting motion. Like I couldn't even do this. I couldn't even twist like this. A month ago, this was almost impossible. I could not do this. It was almost impossible. I felt so much pain just twisting. So all the exercises I was doing were just like non-twisting exercises, non-twisting of the spine. Literally, maybe a few weeks ago, I started incorporating more twisting into my routine. So as I mentioned, the cobra was another one that I was doing on a regular basis. And it's pretty much you just lay on your stomach and you have your hands below your shoulders and you push back like a cobra, right? Like a snake. And you sort of come up for about 1 second and then come back down again, and then push against your hands and come back up again. And I'd probably do that like 4 or 5 repetitions. But then there were times where I was just pushing my hands against the floor and then pushing back and then just holding that position. And I'd even have my phone and I'd start watching a couple of YouTube videos for, maybe I was even holding it for like 1 or 2 minutes at a time, watching stuff on my phone and then coming back down again and then pushing back up, watching another couple of minutes of a video, then coming back down again. And I did a lot of extension exercises like the cobra. That's another one. And also I did exercises with flexion, with bringing my knee, just like that, each knee up to my chest and holding it for a little bit. And then it's hard to demonstrate, I'm sitting on a couch, but I'll get Robyn to show you anyway in another video. I'll link it up. I'll link all the demonstration videos up separately. And I was kind of just doing those exercises too. And I'd spend 30 minutes pretty much every day. And when I say every day, I really do mean every day. And I'll move on. What else is there? Side to side spinal stretch. That was another one, but the side to side spinal stretch came much, much later on. But the exercises I gave you were pretty much the exercises that I did. If I look at my workout calendar, you'll see that for the month of May, I think it was May, I literally took 1 day off from doing my exercises. And the most important thing about my recovery was the fact that I did spend pretty much every day at least 30 minutes, around 30 minutes, doing these exercises that I just mentioned to, build strength in my lower back, to, and just be consistent. And that's the truth. I was so committed. I didn't want to get surgery. I wanted to fix myself. And I knew that these exercises were so important. There's a book that I recommend that I read. I highly recommend this book. It's by Robyn McKenzie. The osteo and the physio both really swear by the McKenzie method. The McKenzie method, these exercises, some of them anyway, come from the McKenzie approach. So Robyn McKenzie, there's a book called Treat Your Own Back. You can actually buy this and download it from Kindle, like I did. And the book talks about, common back issues related to office jobs, and if you're, in a sedentary position over time, and how that impacts your back and your lumbar spine. But also, McKenzie goes into these kinds of exercises that I just mentioned as well, and explains them in more detail, and explains, centralizing the pain, so bringing the pain from the back of your knee and centralizing that pain back into the base of the spine. So I highly recommend that book. It's an amazing book. It's great. It will give you so much insight and knowledge, and will really help you in your recovery, as it has for me. I am now in a place now where I'm starting to get back into heavy lifting again. And I'm doing very heavy strength training again for the first time in around 6 months. So I started doing deadlifting again as of a week or so ago, very lightweight. I started doing heavy dumbbell and barbell training. I am much stronger in my lower back than what I've ever been in my life. And it's thanks to these initial exercises that helped me to get back on track, that really helped to cure my lower back. And when I say cure my lower back, I mean, I'm not even feeling any pain whatsoever. But now, right now, I don't feel anything. I can roll out of bed on any angle. I don't feel anything. It's just absolutely amazing. It just feels incredible. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. I hope this video was helpful, hopefully not too long for you. If you've had lower back pain or you've cured it without surgery, let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to, I'm not a doctor or a specialist, but I hope this has helped you through my own personal experience. All the best. You can do this. Just try that and see how you go. Thanks for watching, and see you later.